for today, again, for anyone that just jumped in, I'm Nani Perez, our transfer coordinator here at USA. And we are going to just go through this agenda that you see on I think that you might be able to see on my screen. But we're going to start off with a brief video and welcome message from President Bonner, our current university president. So here we go.
There are moments in life when we get the chance to find out who we are, to decide where we're going, and our unique paths of getting there. Along the way, we discover what's important, how to tackle big challenges, and even the best way to say hello. At South, you can find your place.
Good afternoon. I'm Joe Bonner, and I want to both welcome you here today and also thank you for choosing the University of South Alabama to finish your degree. We commit to helping you find your place at South and prepare you for what comes next in life. More and more students are choosing South. In fact, this fall, our transfer student enrollment was up 10%. That's because we're focused on you. Whether you're coming from a two-year school or started at another four-year college before deciding that South was the right fit. We've got people here to guide you on your unique journey. Across the university, people are ready to help. Our faculty, academic advisors, career services, the registrar's office, the Center for Academic Excellence. There's an entire infrastructure built around your success. We're looking forward to you joining us on campus. Please let us know how we can help. And as always, go Jags.
Okay, so thank you, President Bonner, right? If you were joining us in live, we would be thanking him. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into our next speaker. I'd like to introduce Ms. Cassandra Deaton with our admissions office. She will be sharing her screen and going over some admissions information.
Hello, everyone. I know I recognize a lot of the names on here. I'm going to go over admissions requirements, and then if you have been accepted already, a little bit of information about that. So let me share my screen. Well, let me attempt to share screen. There we go. And let me get that started. All right. So for transfer requirements, it's pretty basic. As long as you have at least 30 credit hours from a community college or university, you only will need 2.0 GPA. We will not need your high school transcript. We do not need your ACT scores or any of that as long as you have that 30 hours. If you have under 30 hours, that's where the freshman requirements come into play. So even if you have 29 hours, you do have to meet the freshman requirements. So that means that along with your college transcripts, even if you've been to 5 different schools, we'll still need all of them. Or you've been to one, we can just use your one. We also will need your high school transcript. So that's going to mean that, and your ACT score. So not only you're going to have your high school transcript, but if you were under the age of 23, we will need your test scores. So the test scores will need to be the 19 ACT or the 9 IDEA SAT. And then it must mean a 2.5 GPA. And that's not just high school. That's going to be kind of a combo of the college and high school put together. And then admission side of that will kind of make that calculation. We also do have test optional. So if you do not meet that 30 credit hours, but you do have a fairly well compiled GPA for high school, but just say you have like maybe an 18 ACT or 17, test optional is still an option to get through. I will say it's not on the slide, but transfer students do have a really good shot of appeals process. So if you are feeling like you have not met these requirements, don't discount it completely out. You do have a chance of going ahead and applying. If you do find yourself in the appeal process, we're going to ask for extra documentation, which is going to be a letter of recommendation from somebody, could be superior, a mentor, a teacher, and then we'll need a personal essay. And I know essay sounds kind of scary, but it's actually your voice. So say you had a situation, a lot of times with transfer students, you went to college, thought it was going to be something different, maybe we're at the wrong college, or if something happened in your life that caused you not to be able to focus on your studies, explain that in your personal essay. This gives you a voice. A committee meets together, they go over everything that you wrote, and then they decide whether you are the right fit for South based on that. So you're not just a number at that point. So just keep that in mind if you are on the fence about that. The process is pretty simple. You're going to go online and apply. If you are coming from another semester, maybe you applied already for the spring and decided not to come. I know that happens a lot. Email me, message me, get a hold of me somehow, and I will send you a link to switch your term over. As long as it's within a year, you won't have to pay the fee again. And if you have not applied yet and you don't want to pay that fee, let me know and I have a code for you. Once you have started your application, we just need to upload your documents. If it's been a while since you've applied, you just need to upload whatever missing documents we have. If you want another semester at the school, you just upload that. Takes about 7 to 10 business days, depending on the time of year. Always check back in. I don't mind you emailing me and say, hey, how's my application doing? Are you missing anything? And I can kind of look that up and give you a better idea. All right, scholarships. We're going to talk more about more scholarships into the next few slides. People are talking after me, but I'm going to talk about the transfer scholarship, specifically the community college transfer scholarship. The reason that this is so important for our office is it is an automatic scholarship. So as long as you have met the requirements on the screen, which is going to be obviously you've already been admitted, at least 48 hours, and at least a 2.75, you automatically get the scholarship. So what will happen is you will get an email or something saying, congratulations, you've been awarded a scholarship. You're going to go into JagSpot, you're going to claim the scholarship, and then it's going to be applied to your account. With a 4-year college scholarship, that's going to go through JagSpot. You actually have to apply for that, and that's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be automatic, but you do have an application through JagSpot, and the requirements are a bit different. It's at least 30 hours and a 3.0. And again, if you have any questions about any of the admission scholarships, just reach out to me. I believe we started awarding those last week, and we continue to award them as the time goes on. So please update your transcript with us. If you feel like you've gone over that 48 and you want to be admitted or awarded that scholarship, let me know. And here's a little bit of a look at the 2 transfer community college scholarships are going to be different awarded amounts based on your GPA. So the 2.75 to the 3.49 and then over 3.5, along with PTK. PTK, you do have to apply through JagSpot. They will ask for a documentation from your PTK sponsor, just showing that you are a part of the PTK program. These can be stacked together. So if you say you get the 3.5 scholarship here and here, these 2 will go together, and they are renewable. Also with their transfer scholarships, as long as you have claimed these scholarships and you're an out-of-state student, they will make you an in-state tuition. So keep that in mind as well if you're not in one of our service areas. And this is the 4-year one I was talking about with a 3.0 and 30 credit hours. Let's see. I'm going to hit on this a little bit because not many people know that we have an adult learner services department. Recently, we've kind of shifted a little bit. So I'm in both. I'm transfer and I'm also adult. And then we have Mr. Bob Charlevoix, that is actually the director of adult learner services. So we're kind of all merging together. So this is an extra resource for students that are adult learners. Now I say adult because we're kind of all adults, but I guess on paper, they consider adult being 23 and up. But honestly, I think of it as adult and non-traditional. So say you're 21 and you have a family, you are a working parent, anything like that, that would make you a non-traditional, I would say, student, not your typical that would go straight to maybe community college and then 2 years graduate associate, come straight here. Or you did, and you just are something that's not considered traditional. We have resources for you. We have, we can get you in contact. It's kind of a one-stop shop. When if we can't have the answers for you, we're going to give you to the right people. So please keep in mind, if you are over the age of 23, you'll automatically get information from this department. But if you, like I said about the non-traditional student, if you do find yourself in a situation where you want some more extra resources, please let us know and I will get you in contact with Bob. And one thing I wanted to hit on that wasn't on the slide is if you have been already accepted in for the fall semester or the summer semester of this year already, please make sure that you've signed up for orientation. That is going to be your next big step. That is the way we know that you're coming. That allows us to basically triggers the advisor list to show, hey, they're coming, they're on your list. So when the advisors go to reach out to you to be able to register for classes, they're going to start at the top. and they're going to make their way down. So keep in mind that you do have to register for orientation is required. I know a lot of people say, well, I'm a transfer student. I've already done orientation at another school. Think of this as more of a transfer orientation. It's going to be a lot more focused on the transfer side of it, what you'll need to know for this school. And it'll keep a lot of virtual options. Summer is all virtual. I believe there's only one in person for fall, and that's going to be August 2nd. Some people prefer to be in person, which is fine, which is why we do still have that. So I do have if you have any questions about your next steps, I do have a checklist that you can find online, but I can send you the link to it, and it allows you to kind of visually put in place everything that you need to be doing. Right now is kind of the time frame where if you've registered for orientation already, you're kind of just in a waiting period. You just want to make sure that you have everything else in place with financial aid and everything like that. But when it comes to registering classes, as long as you're registered for orientation, you're just kind of waiting for that time. And I believe Nani can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be towards for transfer students a little bit more into the end of April before you're going to probably hear back from your advisor about registering for classes. But if you have any questions about that, she'll also be able to talk a little bit more about that timeline. So I think I'm done. I talk really fast. So if there's anything that you have questions about, you can reach out to me through my email or any of the communications I probably put out there already.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cassandra. And yes, you're correct. By end of April, early May, our new students will be eligible to register. So you guys sign up for orientation. We'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Perfect.
I'd like to introduce Destiny. She is our SGA transfer student at large. So she is currently here at USA. And this spring, she is completing her second semester with us. And so we're super excited that she's on the call to give you a little bit of the transfer experience from a student's perspective. So I'm going to let her jump on and say hello and do her thing.
Hi, afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Nani, for introducing me. Again, my name is Destiny, and this, like she said, is my second semester at South. I transferred very non-traditional. I didn't come from a community college. I actually served 6 years in the Air Force, and I separated in July and kind of wanted to stay down south. I like more the warmer weather, but a family friend that I was living with, her son and her daughter-in-law had graduated from South and spoke very highly. So we came to a USA Day and kind of just really fell in love more so with the faculty and staff, which is what really hooked me. Their dedication and their commitment and just their positivity was really what got me to South. And so from the beginning, I jumped in, like she mentioned. I am SGA, which is Student Government Association, transfer at large. So essentially, when you come here, I represent you and I speak in front of the student government to implement things that are going to help your experience, things that we don't already have that you feel like we should have. What do you like and what do you want to see more of? And so basically, I'm just the voice to the administrative side of what you need and what you want. So yeah, I've really jumped in. A lot of these individuals, Cassandra, Nani, Miss Roxanne, and Miss Natalie, just some names I'm seeing on the screen. I have all worked with these ladies, all fabulous. I come and mess with them all the time and ask them for help, and they are just willing every single time. So like Cassandra said, if you have any questions, just make sure you're reaching out to her. That's a big thing. Just what you need and what's not happening. I know, like on my end, in my experience, I wasn't reached out to by an advisor until right before like classes started. So that was a big thing, and keeping in contact with Cassandra just kind of really helped make that a lot smoother and get that set up. Miss Natalie, I worked with her in career services and got my resume looking good and got an internship interview. And so it went really well. So just take everything that they're saying and remember their names and their faces. And I hope we see you in the fall.
Thank you, Destiny. You guys, this girl's a rock star too, by the way. So if anyone's interested in SGA, definitely talk with her. We love student involvement. All right. So next we have Miss Roxanne Bates with our Scholarship Services Office. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and share her screen with you to talk over scholarship opportunities and so forth. Thanks, Miss Roxanne.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roxanne Bates. I am the assistant manager here in the Office of Scholarship Services. And like you, I was a transfer student. And initially, I was not accepted because of my very low GPA. But however, I was able to turn things around. And Academically, I'm currently working on my third degree here at South. It's just a testament of how much I love this institution. I want to talk about the importance of scholarships and how you can apply and submit those applications. And Ms. Deaton had covered a lot of what I'm going to recap and talk about some more. But I'm going to go over what it looks like for you as a transfer student in regards to scholarships. And so once you, I'm just going to recap quickly what Ms. Deaton had covered. So for incoming transfer students, we do have the Community College Transfer Scholarship, which, like she mentioned, the GPA is 2.75 with 40 earning that you've completed 48 credit hours. You'll receive $1,000. And this award amount is split for the fall and spring semester. So that's important to note. And then if you have a 3.5 GPA, you receive $2,000. And so for the USA Transfer Scholarship, let me repeat what Ms. Deaton covered. I'm sorry, it may seem repetitive but I just want to cover that for the Community College Transfer Scholarship, you do not need to complete an application. You will be automatically considered for the scholarship based on your admissions application. However, for the USA Transfer Scholarship, you do need to log into JAGSpot to complete this one. So when you receive your acceptance letter, you'll have your student ID, your JAG number. You'll take that JAG number to log into JAGSpot. The best way to get to JAGSpot, for me, I find, is to start off on the main university webpage, southalabama.edu, scroll down to scholarships, and this will direct you to our website for the Office of Scholarship Services, and click on the JAGSpot, and you can log in with your credentials. Okay, so once you're logged in, you're going to need to complete the general application. You're going to be looking for the 24-25 general application for this upcoming academic year. Complete that, submit it. The USA Transfer Scholarship will populate in your portal. You complete that and submit it. Okay. And it's the same for the PTK scholarship as well. You would complete that application in JAGSpot and submit it. I believe the deadline is May 1st. We have the Jaguar Dream Transfer Scholarship. This one is a little tricky. There's no application required for this one. However, you do need to complete your FAFSA. You need to demonstrate that you have unmet need. The scholarship committee will review your information and make a decision from there. You'll be notified through your JAGMEL account. But it's important, this is a renewable scholarship, but you do have to complete your FAFSA every year in order to qualify for this scholarship. And then we are housing the HEROES Scholarship under the transfer tab, under transfer information. But this one is for people that are active duty military who maybe work for the sheriff's office, correctional officer, public safety, EMS. These are the instructions on how to complete the application, and also too to apply to the university. They offer some scholarships. Okay, so now that we've covered scholarships for incoming transfer students, once you are here, you start your classes in August, you don't have an institutional GPA just yet. So you're going to work hard, put your best foot forward, get that high GPA to make you competitive amongst your peers. And you're going to log into JAGSpot before you're going to log into JAGSpot once your grades have been posted in December, and before you go off and have fun for winter break. You're going to log into JAGSpot and complete the general application for 25-26. We will post new scholarship opportunities September 1st. And please feel free to go log into JAGSpot. I'm going to show you. You can go to the scholarship directory And you can put in some keywords if you're a nursing major. You may want to see the scholarships that are offered. Okay, and just read the requirements for that scholarship to see if you qualify. And then you're going to be on the lookout for the nursing application in December. You'll note that each of the scholarships is going to tell you. So if you're interested in the Althea Hill Endowed Scholarship for Minority Nurses, you're going to complete the College of Nursing scholarship application. So that is very important to note. Amanda Baker, it's faculty nominated. So that's important because oftentimes students would log into Jackspot and like, hey, I don't see the Beth Anderson Endowed Scholarship. How do I apply for it? And you'll see that you need to complete the nursing scholarship application because we tried to streamline the process so that students didn't have to fill out 100 million scholarship applications. They'll fill out one, and that one application will be for all of the scholarships for the College of Nursing. Okay. And those were some key points that I really wanted to mention to you all, just to make sure that you're aware of. You're going to apply in December. Once your grades have posted, you're going to, before you go off and have fun for winter break, complete the general application, submit it. The portal is going to populate scholarship opportunities that you're eligible to apply for. Complete those applications and submit them. You're going to note the deadline for those scholarship opportunities. Once the deadline has passed, then you're going to just be on the lookout because their applications are going to be pulled. They're going to be sent to the scholarship committee for review. And it takes several weeks for them to review, and then they'll start sending out notifications through your JAGMEL account. So if you have any questions, that's the end of my presentation. But if you have any questions, please feel free to stop by our office. We're located in Meisler Hall, room 1225. You give us a call anytime. No appointment is necessary. Please feel free to stop in anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roxanne. And again, if y'all have questions following this event, we will have a little Google form that you can fill out, and we'll get you connected with each individual that's on the call presenting today based off your interests. So thank you, thank you. Okay, next up is going to be Miss Natalie Weston with our Career Development Office. So Miss Natalie, if you would like to share your screen with us, we would love to learn more about the career opportunities, internships, all that fun stuff that South has to offer our students. If you haven't unmuted, go ahead and unmute, Miss Natalie. Okay.
Yes, I just, I was trying to get to the right place.
Yes, ma'am.
What have I done? Okay. Not, all right. So, hello, everyone. Sorry, it took me a second there. My name is Natalie Weston, and I am a career consultant here in the Career Development Office. We've just recently changed our name, so don't be surprised if you hear someone say Career Services. So Career Services, Career Development, that's the same thing. So, so excited to assist all of you as you come in to the university, and want to make you as welcome as possible. So in the Career Development Office, you may be wondering what we do. So let's see if I can get, okay. So our office can assist you, and that's throughout your entire time here at the University of South Alabama. We can assist you, and we offer a variety of appointment types to help you prepare for your professional journey. So I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay. So we have career major exploration. So maybe you're not sure what you want to do with your major, or possibly you've gotten into one degree and you think, okay, maybe I want to do something different. So we assist students with that. We also assist students that are looking for co-op or internship employment opportunities, trying to help you get ready for those opportunities. We also do an e-branding review, which is so especially as you're getting ready to graduate or look for a professional position. We assist students like to get their LinkedIn ready or their Handshake account ready. Now, Handshake is probably not something you've heard of yet, but that is the platform that we use here on the campus that students can look for part-time jobs, full-time jobs, internships, on-campus positions, okay? We also offer assistance with graduate school preparation, interview preparation. We also do the job search assistance, lots of resume development. So helping students strengthen their resumes and get them ready prior to an internship, prior to a career fair, all of those things. And then we also have a Jaguar clothes closet. So for students that maybe don't have professional attire for a career fair or to go for an interview, we have some gently used clothing available that we've gotten donated, and then you can pick out an outfit and it's yours. Okay, so that's kind of a brief overview of the different appointment types that we have. We also have lots of resources on demand for students. So we know that not everybody can meet 8 to 5. So that's why we offer things, offline. As I mentioned before, Handshake is the platform that we use for students to look for employment opportunities. Like I said, whether part-time, full-time, internship, some of our on-campus positions are in there. Also our events, because we do have career fairs as well. We have what's called our Hire a JAG, typically one every fall and then one every spring, and that's all majors. So we have this last spring, I think we had 67 employers. In the fall, I think we had close to 80. So, and of a wide variety of majors. So that's how we use Handshake. There's also Focus 2, and that is an assessment that you can take to help you define what you want to do with your career. And then there's also, what can I do with this major? So maybe your biology major or your a chemistry major, and those are, wide. Those offer a wide range of different professional careers. So maybe you're trying to decide what you want to do with those majors. So that's a great resource you can go in and look at now. There's Going Global. So maybe you're interested in doing an internship overseas, or you're looking for a full-time position overseas, or possibly it also has Going Global. You can also look for positions all around the United States as well. And then Big Interview is another resource that we offer. And this is a really wonderful resource. What this one does is you can go through their curriculum and learn about the process of interviewing, how you need to answer questions. You can also do practices where you do video practice, practicing your interviewing skills, which it's important to practice that before you actually go for an interview. But it has different questions based on the industry that you're going in. So there's some great information on those. And then, so a lot of what we talk about with students is your career readiness. So career readiness is, as an institution, is something that we've made part of our Level Up, our QEP, and our Level Up program. So the National Association of Colleges and Employers, they've identified 8 different career readiness competencies that students need in order to grow and develop and to be successful in the workplace. And to be honest, these are competencies that you would continue to develop even throughout your career. So I have a list of them here. So things like career and self-development, communication, critical thinking, equity, inclusion, leadership, professionalism, teamwork, and technology. So, and we actually, a lot of different instructors have done different, through the Level Up, they have done some assignments in order to help students with some of these skills. So that's something to keep on the forefront. Does anybody, I don't know if we're allowing questions or not, Nani, are we?
Anyone's welcome to put a question in the chat for sure. So if anyone's got any questions for Miss Natalie, you're welcome to put them in the chat, but we will definitely have some time after our last two speakers.
Okay,
that are coming
I
up.
wasn't sure.
No, you're fine. Thank you so much.
And then the last thing is, this is my QR code. If anyone would be interested in making an appointment with me, or in my contact information as well, I'd be glad to assist you. My colleagues in my office also be glad. I'm not the only career consultant. There's several others besides myself. So, I'll be glad to assist you, but that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Miss Natalie. All right. Rolling right on through, everybody. We've got Miss Janet Coleman with our registrar's office. She works specifically with credit evaluation. So she's going to briefly go over just kind of what it's like on our end. And then again, if you've got questions specifically about courses, it would be good to have a one-on-one appointment with her or someone in our advising office just to talk more one-on-one. So definitely keep your ears open for what she'll share with you in just a moment, and then hang on to your questions too. All right, Miss Janet.
Hello. I hope everyone is doing okay.
Yes, ma'am. And
Let's see. So my name is Janet. I am the academic record specialist, academic record supervisor in the registrar's office, and I will be discussing transfer credit. Our policy is designed to facilitate the transfer of students and their coursework from one college or university to another, encouraging students to advance toward graduation in 4 years. The University of South Alabama accepts transfer work from regionally accredited institutions. The coursework will be evaluated against the bulletin in effect for the semester and the year in which the student enrolls at the university. A general elective will be assigned based on compatibility of the course content if an equivalent course is not available. All transfer credits from community college will be evaluated, although credits may or may not be applicable to a specific degree program. The final program evaluation of transfer credit requires the approval of the dean. In no case will transfer credit applied to a degree program exceed 50% of the total number of hours in the program, up to a maximum of 64 hours. No credit will be awarded for remedial, vocational, or technical courses. Courses not generally accepted from a junior or community college may be considered for transfer credit on a selective basis. Such courses must be approved for degree credit by the student's academic dean based upon the recommendation of the appropriate department chair. The University of South Alabama utilizes an interactive tool known as TEST, with its transfer evaluation system, to help students assess which credits earned at their current or formal school may transfer to USA. It is important to note that TEST is an unofficial course evaluation. USA will make an official determination of transfer credit acceptance after you're admitted to the university, and official transcript for all of your previously completed coursework has been received. So if you wanted to know how to access the transfer evaluation system, you go to the homepage of the University of South Alabama. In the search bar, you just type registrar's office. You click Office of the Registrar. You'll see the 9 little icons. You click Transfer Assistant. Under the little bulletins, you evaluation and application of transfer credit. You click Transfer Evaluation Tables, and it will bring up the list. You find your school. In this example, I just chose A, which is for Abilene, which is the first school. To your left, you'll see the courses you took at Abilene. To the right, you see what those courses were transferred at USA. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email us at records@southalabama.edu. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day.
Thank you, Ms. Janet. So guys, I know it's so important that the credit that you've earned at your previous institution does transfer over, and we are doing our best always to make sure that what you take will transfer, but we do have policies too. So Ms. Janet is one of our wonderful ladies, or one of the folks in there, at least. I don't know, I'm sure there's some guys that work in that office, right, Ms. Janet, that do the evaluation. So anyways, definitely be patient, but make sure you get your official documents in so that they can be reviewed. And keep in mind, if you upload them yourself, if you email them yourself to admissions, they will be considered unofficial. So you want to make sure that it's coming through parchment or being ordered and sent directly from your institution to our institution to make it official. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to invite Ms. Lauren Rhodes with our financial aid office to share her screen and talk more about FAFSA and other forms of funding that can help pay for college. So Ms. Lauren, turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, Nani. All right, so we are going to talk about federal financial aid and specifically the FAFSA. So hopefully everyone on this call is familiar with what the FAFSA is and what it stands for. It does stand for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's available at FAFSA.gov each year. And I tell people the most important part of that acronym is the first F, free. You should not ever pay to complete your FAFSA. If you Google FAFSA, you may find several pages of Google results that look legitimate. It will let you go through the entire application process, and then at the end, it will ask you for your credit card information because it's asking for a fee to be able to file your FAFSA. If you find yourself in that situation, know that you have gone to the absolute wrong site. FAFSA.gov is the official site. Okay, the FAFSA is going to determine your eligibility for federal student aid. So that's going to be forms of aid like grants as well as student loans. And then also, as Ms. Bates mentioned in a couple of her speaking points, there are a couple of scholarship opportunities here on campus that require you to have a FAFSA on file. That doesn't mean that you have to accept everything that has been offered to you on a federal financial aid offer process by our office. It simply means that it is just a checkbox for the application process in order to consider you eligible for that particular scholarship fund. Okay, so what FAFSA should you complete? If we have any students who are going to be transferring in and joining us for summer term, so summer 24, you're going to need to complete the 2023-2024 tax FAFSA at FAFSA.gov. You're going to use your 2021 tax information for that particular FAFSA, and it is available for you to complete right now. If you are continuing on from summer or you are transferring to USA starting in the fall, you will need to complete the 2024-2025 FAFSA using your 2022 tax information. It is available to complete now. I'm sure if you've been keeping up with any sort of headlines in the news over the past few months, you've heard a little bit about the 24-25 FAFSA and a couple of the bugs, a couple of the stumbling blocks that institutions are running up against with the 24-25 FAFSA. So just to kind of give you an idea of where South Alabama is in that process, it is available for you to complete at FAFSA.gov. So if you have not done that already, you can definitely go ahead, get that FAFSA submitted. We have not started to receive data from the Department of Education on completed 24-25 FAFSAs as of this afternoon. Okay, we're kind of in this weird holding pattern when it comes to getting that data. Okay, in the next slide, I'm going to kind of go over what you can expect once we get that FAFSA data. But we are still kind of in that waiting period until we start to receive all of the official results of the 24-25 FAFSA for students who have listed South Alabama on their FAFSA. Okay. All right, so after we have completed the FAFSA, and this is going to be for 23-24 as well as 24-25, this is kind of how the communication flows with our office, okay? once we load in your FAFSA from the Department of Education, you will receive an email notification. If you have been admitted to USA, you will have been issued a JAGMail email address, and that's where we're going to correspond with you. If you have not yet been admitted to USA, we are going to send that notification to whatever email address you have provided on the FAFSA, okay? You can also check PAWS, which is our student self-service portal, for real-time updates to see where you are in the financial aid process. So again, to reiterate, we're not getting any data just yet for 24-25, but even once we start that, this is how the communication flow will work. So the biggest thing is to check your email and to check PAWS on a regular basis, okay? Sometimes students are selected for verification. So what does that mean? Roughly 30% of all applicants who complete the FAFSA are selected for verification. And a lot of times that sounds like a really scary process, but the way I like to explain it to students and families is that think of it as just a double check, right? When you're thinking about completing the FAFSA and it's asking you some questions about finances, the people in your household, things of that nature, it can be very easy to make a keystroke error. And so what this verification process does, it does require our office here on campus to collect additional documentation from you to make sure that everything that you listed on your FAFSA is complete and it's accurate. So a lot of times students think that maybe they're being audited by the IRS, and that's absolutely not the case. Just think of it as a double check to make sure that you're getting all of the aid that you're eligible to receive, all right? Okay, so when we were talking about the FAFSA that you need to file, looking at 23-24 versus 24-25, you may have noticed that it asks for tax information. That was about 2 years ago. So why do we ask for that? Several years ago, the Department of Education realized that when the FAFSA was asking for tax information from just a year ago, a lot of times students and families were just kind of estimating their income because they had not yet filed their tax return for that tax year. So they implemented what we call prior year when completing the FAFSA as far as tax information goes. So it is going to ask for tax information from 2 years ago because we're assuming that most people by this point have filed that tax return from 2 years ago. What we've learned is that a lot can change over 2 years, right? So any financial aid office can perform a professional judgment, or what we call here at South Alabama an income reevaluation. Students can open an income reevaluation or an EFC appeal with our office once they receive their initial aid offer from our office, okay? So you do have to wait for that finalized aid offer to be issued. You kind of look over it and you're looking at the information and you're thinking, you know what? Maybe some of that information that I listed on the FAFSA, because it asked for 2 years ago, is not quite reflective of my current financial situation or my family's current financial situation. This income reevaluation process allows students to essentially appeal the information that's provided on their FAFSA. So this is all done through what we call our financial aid verification portal. You will open the appeal and you'll write a very brief summary as to what circumstances changed from when you filed the FAFSA and that information that's listed on your FAFSA to now. So a lot of times this can be a change in income, job loss, things of that nature. And then you'll upload supporting documentation that kind of outlines the change, right? So a lot of times that may be a more recent tax return. If it's been a change in income, maybe it's the two most recent pay stubs, things of that nature. So we will review that as a committee. And then if the appeal is approved, our office will make those corrections on your behalf. You won't be required to go back in to your FAFSA and make the corrections. We will make those for you. So some quick tips for transfer students, all right? If you are transferring in for summer and you have already completed a 23-24 FAFSA, you're receiving aid at your current institution. In order for our office to be able to process a finalized aid offer on your behalf for summer term, you'll need to cancel any pending financial aid disbursements at your current school, okay? When we're processing an aid offer for summer term, we also have to take into account any aid that you received at your current institution, right? So if you're transferring in as a freshman and maybe you've borrowed your full $5,500 for the academic year over fall term and spring term at your current institution, unless you will be changing grade levels once you transfer in here at South Alabama, you will have already exhausted all of your federal student loan eligibility. So we do have to take into account when we're processing those aid offers, any aid that you received at your current institution for that academic year. If you have already completed a 23-24 FAFSA and you need to get the results to our office, you'll need to log on to your existing FAFSA and add our school code. The school code is listed on this slide right here, but also there is a search function within the FAFSA where you can search by state, and then just make sure that USA is listed as a school to receive your FAFSA results. You'll save your FAFSA, sign it, and then submit it again, and we should have your results within 3 to 5 business days. We've talked a lot about checking JAG mail and pause, so I don't think we really need to go over that again. But 2 other really important points for transfer students, okay? A lot of times students think that if they're receiving a scholarship, then yes, absolutely, I have to keep my grades up. But a lot of students don't realize they also have to maintain satisfactory academic progress in order to maintain their federal financial aid eligibility. So each institution has their own policy, their own SAP policy, what we call it for short. But here at South Alabama, our policy states that as an undergraduate, you have to maintain a 2.0 GPA, and that's your institutional GPA. So that's your coursework here that you have completed at South Alabama. You also have to pass 67% of your attempted hours. That is all of your attempted hours, so it does include transfer credit, okay? So as long as you are meeting those benchmarks each semester, you are eligible for federal financial aid. In the event that you're not meeting one of those benchmarks after summer grades post, after fall grades post, you'll receive an email from our office that says that you're going to be granted a financial aid warning term for this upcoming semester. That means that you are still eligible for federal financial aid, but it isn't a warning status, meaning that you're going to have to use that next term to correct your GPA or the 67% of your attempted hours. If you are able to get back to those thresholds once the next term passes and we see your final grades, you're good to go. There's nothing that you need to do. You have maintained your financial aid eligibility moving forward. If for some reason you are still not able to meet those 2 benchmarks after your warning semester, you would not be eligible for federal financial aid. We do have an appeal process, and it's called our SAP appeal. You'll open it the same way as we discussed with the income reevaluation. So you'll do that in our financial aid verification portal. You will write a statement outlining any extenuating circumstances that were going on as to why you weren't performing well academically. You'll attach any supporting documentation that you may have. And then you'll also kind of outline for our office, what are some things that you're going to put in place to make sure that you're not falling back into this less than 2.0 GPA, less than 67% of your attempted hours. So that may be making sure that you're utilizing our free tutoring services on campus. It may mean meeting with your academic advisor more often. So things of that nature are things that you're going to want to include in that appeal. And then again, any documentation outlining what was not going so well for you during those semesters. Those are reviewed by a committee. So if it is approved, you would be given your financial aid back in a probationary status. So a lot of times that means you're going to work with your academic advisor on an academic plan to make sure that you're taking the correct number of credit hours and making good grades to make sure that you are getting back to those 2 benchmarks. All right. The last piece that I'd like to cover is FERPA. So if you are transferring in from another institution, your institution probably has a way for you to grant individuals access to your information. So how we handle that here at South Alabama is through an e-form through our one-stop website. So you will log on to the link provided right there on the slide, and you'll sign in using your single sign-on credentials. So that's your JAG number if you've been admitted to USA, and your JAG mail password. If you haven't been admitted yet, then you won't be able to complete this form. But if you have been admitted, you have those two pieces of information in order to sign in using single sign-on. When you access that form, you will create a password. You'll also list individuals on that form that are authorized to contact Student Financial Services on your behalf. So Student Financial Services is comprised of financial aid, student accounting, scholarship services, and our USA One Stop. If anyone contacts our office on your behalf, whether that's a phone call that's coming in to visit or sending an email, we will ask them to provide your JAG number and that FERPA password. So as long as they're able to provide those two pieces of information and they're also listed on that form, we will be able to release any financial aid or student financial services information to them just as if we were speaking to you. All right, so let's go to there we go. So that is kind of the end of my presentation. I have our contact information up right here. As Nani mentioned, we're going to have a Google form that she is going to share out at the end of this presentation. So feel free to utilize that to get in touch with me for any questions that you may have. We know sometimes you don't want to ask questions, especially about money, in front of people that you don't know or even people that you do know. So we do try to be very sensitive to that in Student Financial Services. So if you want to call, email, schedule a virtual appointment, come in, we are happy to help you, and we want to be a resource to you, to all students, to make sure that you're understanding the best way to pay for your education here at South Alabama, making sure that you're meeting payment deadlines, and that you're just kind of aware of where you are in the financial aid process.
Great. Thank you so much, Lauren. Guys, that was a lot of really good information. I know, again, it was a lot, hence a lot. So if you would, or if you'd like to, I'm going to put the little Google form in the chat. Feel free to copy and paste this link before the meeting ends. And then when you get a second, fill it out. But we can get you connected with different people in the office. If we didn't cover something that you have questions about, please feel free to leave a comment. Anything like that, we welcome feedback and would love to get you in touch with anyone that can help make your transfer to USA smooth. And so just to kind of wrap things up, like Ms. Cassandra had mentioned, a few like next steps for those that are going to be coming here this summer and in the fall. The biggest thing is if you haven't already been admitted, go ahead and apply and get admitted, right? Because once you're admitted, we can start all the stuff that we started talking about, getting your FAFSA into your file, making sure it's been reviewed, getting your transcripts reviewed. But most importantly, also, I know everyone's eager to get into their classes. We can actually meet with you and get you advised. So once you've been admitted to South, you then will go into your admissions portal. Is that right, Cassandra, to sign up for orientation? Is that where we have it housed?
Yes. If you've been admitted, when you go back into your application portal, it's going to take you to a page with a big picture in the middle. It's usually a video of somebody. Underneath that video or picture, it's going to have a link that says you said yes or orientation, click here. Something, it's like a red line underneath.
Perfect. So we do have a website that does link you directly to the admissions portal off our orientation website, but there's not a separate place to sign up for it. So you do need to register for it. And once you have signed up for orientation, you will then appear on our advising outreaching lists, and we will begin communicating with you to your South Alabama email by about mid-April, end of April. So be sure to kind of watch your South Alabama email. If you haven't already activated it, go ahead and do that, because that's how we will start communicating with you, not just advisors, but Miss Cassandra, Miss Lauren in financial aid, scholarships, anyone that needs to get in touch with you from USA, they will start communicating to your South Alabama email. So make it a regular habit to check your email and email anything school related through that South Alabama email account. Once you've signed up for orientation, you'll get those advising emails, again, mid-April, end of April. Following that, you'll want to obviously attend orientation. It can be virtual or in person. There are a couple different options for you, but just note that they are two separate things, so you don't have to first attend orientation to be advised. It's a little bit different. You know, a lot of people think go to orientation, get advised, get registered. Well, we are a little bit separate. We don't do it that way. So as soon as you sign up, know that you'll start getting communications from advising again, end of April. So it will be a little bit of a quiet time between the time you sign up for orientation and the end of April. Don't stress, don't be anxious. If you do have any questions, we are all here to answer them, to help reassure you that everything is where it needs to be, that you have all your stuff in order. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can always call our academic advising and transfer services office to make an appointment with me if you would like. But again, if you fill out that Google form that I sent in our chat room, that will give you some, that'll give us a chance to get you connected directly with the people that you want to talk to. And then last but not least, a couple things just to think about over the next few weeks. And once you've been advised, we're going to get you connected with the bookstore, with your parking pass so that you have your parking decal. We're going to have a couple events in August and in October for our incoming transfer students. So be on the lookout for communications from me and other people on our transfer team regarding a week of welcome t-shirt swap, where you can bring an old t-shirt from your previous institution and swap it in for a new USA t-shirt. Again, just exclusively for our transfer students. And then in October, it's National Transfers Week, and we do try to hold some events on campus and would love for you to participate. This is also another great way to kind of step into that SGA position or transfer student at large if you would like to be a representative for incoming transfer students in the future. So with that, I am going to wrap it up. If anyone does have a question, you're welcome to verbalize it, or you can put it in the chat box. And if not, again, feel free to fill out that Google form and we'll get you connected with the people that you want to talk to. And I just want to thank you all so much again for this hour of your time today. We're just so glad that you were able to join us and that you're considering South, and we look forward to meeting you when you get here. So anyone have questions?
I was going to add on that in the chat, I went ahead and put the link to the transfer checklist. So if you have been admitted or you haven't yet and you want to know, you really want to plan ahead, you can click on that and that will give you to the website. It will actually give you the hyperlink so you can click even more on each step and kind of keep track. If you're a visual person like me, it's kind of nice to see that all in one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, if there are no questions, the transfer team will stay on for a little bit longer, but if you have no more questions, you're welcome to hop off. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we, again, look forward to chatting with you further in the future. Yes, Erica, you can definitely talk to advisors before April. We just can't get you registered until your registration opens at the end of April. So you are welcome to meet with me or any of our advisors in our advising office to talk more about any questions you have. So if you would, I'll just jot down your name since you've already mentioned that, and I'll reach out to you. Will the recorded meeting be emailed out? I hope so. If it decides to compress well enough to where we can email it, then yes. If not, what we'll probably do is put it up on YouTube and link it off of our Transfer Center website. So let me go ahead and I will link that Transfer Center website here to the chat room so that you can find that in the future. I'll have to get creative with that. So thanks for bringing that up. That's a great question. All right, let's see. Here we go, everyone. That's our Transfer Center website. All right, so great. All right, any other questions, folks?
I have a few questions about scholarships.
Sure.
So I had a question about the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship. Is that competitive, or is that just like you submit the application and if your membership gets verified, then
Ms.
it'll be
Roxanne,
rewarded?
do you want to jump on that one? Hold on, Miss Roxanne, we can't hear you. Hang on a second.
It doesn't look like she's muted though.
No, not muted. Your volume happened. Oh, something happened with your volume. Can't hear you. Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
Great.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so for the PTK scholarship, it is very competitive. Unfortunately, not everyone that apply for it will receive it. Yeah, the only thing I just encourage you to apply, to make sure you submit your application by the deadline. Make sure that your advisors submit their piece as well. But it is a very highly competitive scholarship. So hope that answered your question, Olivia.
Yes, it did. Thank you. And then if we are in Phi Theta Kappa when we come to South Alabama, can we apply for the following year too? Or is it just that entry?
It's just the entry for incoming.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Olivia, I do want to share, we have a chapter. Oh no, you can't see it. Hold on a second. Let me change up my background. We have a honors society on campus called Tau Sigma, which is meant for transfer students once they matriculate to the four-year institution. And if you get inducted into that organization, there are external scholarships through Tau Sigma that you could then apply for, and that would still help with tuition. So we do have some other, I mean, that's just one specifically for for transfer students who have matriculated in, but there will be other ones that you can apply for too. But I just wanted to put a little plug in for Tau Sigma. We're working on it, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any other questions? These are great questions, guys. Thank y'all for unmuting and talking with us today. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything coming through the chat. Again, fill out that Google form if you do have a question, but we're going to go ahead and let y'all jump off. I thank you guys again so much for your time, and we really do look forward to seeing you here in the fall. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, transfer team.